Hello, I'm Richard Ray, and joining me now is Niki Koss, not only the director of Night Night, but a producer. Let me do a little introduction here because she's had a remarkable career in front of the camera, now behind the camera. You starred in the hit show Famous in Love. You earned a spot on Forbes 30 Under 30. Currently running your own production company. I want to hear more about that later too. K Factor Films. But good to see you again, Niki. How are you?
Good to see you too. I'm doing well. I'm
Tell me
living the Yeah, go ahead.
about being a first-time director. What are the challenges of being a first-time director?
Oh, what are not the challenges of being a first-time director? So I'd been directing for almost 10 years before Night Night, but I'd never done a feature before. I always wanted to wait until I felt like I was 100% ready because I think in our industry, there's such a stigma to first-time feature directors not being prepared and not having enough experience to take on that challenge. So I felt like I was there, and then I learned, a whole plethora of information throughout the process that I'll take with me on the next one. But I'd say some of the biggest challenges were making your day, of course, and timing is huge because, as we know, time is money. And I would say I like to be very prepared, almost to a fault, when I'm directing. And when you get on set, especially when you're making an indie movie, you kind of have to just learn when to throw it all away. So you have to have everything prepared, but then there's always unexpected twists and turns that you have to just kind of go with. And learning that skill was a bit of a challenge and a learning curve for me.
I just recently watched the film This Changes Everything. It talks a lot about the glass ceiling that's faced by women in Hollywood. And you're a member of Women in Media, Women in Film, Glass Elevator, the Alliance of Women's Directors, Sundance Directing Fellowship, WIF Producing Mentorship Alumni. What does that do to you? How important is that in breaking through these barriers for people like you?
It's huge. I mean, Hollywood is has sort of been riding on one lane for a very long time, and recently, as we all know, all of these other lanes have sort of opened up for all of these other folks, and all of these opportunities have come to light, and it's amazing, but it's really just the very beginning of the process, and we cannot stop here. We have to remain extremely persistent, and being a part of female specific filmmaker groups has been incredibly helpful and just satisfying for me creatively and in every way, really, because I meet some unbelievable women, and I can really level with them in a way that I can't with my male counterparts, just because they understand the journey in the same way that I do, being a female filmmaker. So it's absolutely important.
You founded K Factor Films with several Night Night team members. What is K Factor Films all about? What do you hope it becomes?
So, K Factor Films is a multimedia production company focusing specifically on film. We've kind of branched out in other arenas, but that's our number one passion right now. And my team is incredible. It's three females and a male, and we're just we I feel like we really all sort of bring something completely different to the table, which is so special. But our goal is to create film that provides a cathartic escape for people who are, dealing with life. And as we know, life right now is not easy. And I think the most incredible part of film as a whole is that it does provide an escape. And even though it's temporary, it stays with you, and it provokes conversation and controversy, and sparks debate. And we want to be able to do that in a positive way with our films, and we want to be able to help filmmakers that are often overlooked for reasons they shouldn't be. We want to help them bring their creativity to light and help elevate them.
How did filming in a relatively small town like Corsicana compare to filming that you've done in, say, Los Angeles?
Corsicana was it was an amazing experience, and it's always, I think, better to shoot on location because you really just bond with everyone so much quicker. It's kind of feels like you're on a like at sleepaway camp, and everyone's sort of stuck together in this cool small town. So definitely the bonding element is huge. And then the second piece of it, I would say, is the town really just gets so excited that you're there, and they come together as a community, a super tight knit community in Corsicana, to do whatever they can to help bring your project to light. And you find the same people start showing up on set, and then they bring their grandkids, and then they bring their friends, and they open up their businesses to you, their homes, and it just becomes sort of like one big beautiful family.
A lot of unique localities in locations in the film. What was the process of discovering and securing those?
It was interesting. Our one of our producing partners, Robert Johnson, who also wrote the script, he is actually the chief of police of Corsicana, so he knows the town in and out. And I would sit down with him, and I would show him inspiration photos, and just give him really vivid descriptions of what I wanted location wise. And then him and I would kind of go out and find whatever we could that matched that. But there were so many moments where we had locations planned, and then I would just be driving through the town, doing my normal everyday things, and I would see, like, for example, I saw this nut store, and it was bright pink, and I was like, I want to shoot there. And I called him up, and I was like, do you know who owns the nut store? And he's like, give me a minute, let me call the owners. And there were a few locations like that I was just driving by, and I literally stopped in my tracks because I was so captivated by how unique they were, and the colors, and just how well they would fit into the aesthetic of the film.
I had just a small part in the film, and I caught you somewhere in the middle. It looked like awfully hard work. You seemed like you were really rolling right along, knew what you were doing, absolutely. But did your directing style evolve from day one to how many days was it? It was long. It was a 21-day marathon or so.
Yeah, it was about 21 days. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, it definitely evolved, and I feel like I really found my voice in regards to directing on this film. And I went in with all these specific ideas, and then they ended up just sort of unfolding in ways that I never expected throughout the process. And it was beautiful. And learning how to allow myself, allow that to happen, and be comfortable with it and embrace it was huge for me. And I think that really helped solidify my voice as a director.
Was there one thing in particular you felt like you learned that was really important from this directorial debut? One really valuable thing, maybe?
Oh, that's such a good question. Um, I would say I can be a little bit of a control freak sometimes. And when you are diligent about hiring the right people, and trusting in the people that you hire, there comes a point where, the micromanaging kind of goes out the window, and you have to really allow people to shine and do what you hired them to do. So letting go and just allowing people to do their jobs in the way that they see the vision, in order to execute them. I think that was really important to me, and that was a big lesson, and that was a muscle that I had to stretch, that I'm still learning how to stretch. But our team was incredible on this film, and I'm really proud of everyone that was involved, including you.
It was a great experience. I'm excited too. We talked a little bit about this before, but it really is a male-dominated industry, and especially in the directorial role. What are some of the challenges you and other women who seek to direct films are facing?
Thank you for that question. I think for me, a lot of the time, I see male filmmakers on set, and coworkers, and I notice that I think they really have the ability to just be filmmakers and really delve into the creativity of it all, and the art of it all, and only have to worry about that. And I've noticed, especially like I noticed for myself and talking to other female filmmakers, that that is a huge part of directing for a female, but we also have to be hyper aware of making sure that we're respected on set by everyone involved, and just sort of adds another piece to the puzzle that forces us to just be hyper aware and conscious of it the whole time. And it would be nice to get to the point where we can just be creative directors and not have to worry about overcompensating for a lack of respect here and there. Not to say that, you know, it's all the time, it's with everyone, but it does exist, and it's something that we have to navigate.
Absolutely. Well, talk about, you had a great cast. Talk about working with Brenna and some of the others, and give us some insight maybe on how you cast a movie like Night Night.
So we had an amazing cast. Everyone just bonded immediately, and the connection that they made was just, it was beautiful, and it felt like almost like they knew each other in a past life or something. Brenna was unbelievable. She's my muse 100%. I just want her in everything I make. She is the easiest actor you could ever imagine working with. So professional, so enthusiastic, knows her lines front and back, ready to try literally anything, has her own creative ideas that she brings to the table. She's just absolutely phenomenal. I would just, anytime anyone wants to hire her, I couldn't say good enough things about Brenna. Everyone was like that, but of course she was my lead, so she holds a special place in my heart. It was so great working with Eric Roberts and Tony Todd. They're veterans, as we know, and they show up, they do their thing with ease and with confidence. And Nick and Derek and Taylor were all phenomenal. Again, so prepared, so dedicated, and really just incredibly talented.
I'm sure you have a lot of fun memories from shooting this over those 21 days. Can you pick out one or two that you would like to share?
Memories. We have so many fun, weird onset memories. I remember one day I made a bet with Nick Marini. I don't remember what the bet was. Oh, I think it was that I bet him he couldn't eat like 5 packets of hot sauce or something. And of course, you don't challenge Nick Marini because he will take the challenge on no matter what it is. He eats the hot sauce, and I lost the bet. So I had to make him a stuffed animal out of the things I could find around me on set. So we ended up with this really creepy, jakey looking bear animal situation. And we think that it ended up haunting us throughout the experience because we would just find him in weird places and in weird positions, and then he would get lost for like a week on end, and then he would just show up, and it was kind of, became the mascot of the movie in a way.
Okay, what are you working on now that you might want to share with us? I'm sure you've got a bunch of projects in the works.
So we're busy with K Factor Films. We have several features that we're working on right now in pre-production. We have 2 music videos that are about to be released, both directed by an incredible Latina female filmmaker, Giselle Bonilla. We have a short that's about to take on the festival circuit, directed by Philip Clark Davis, who's amazing, who I've been working with for several years now. And I have Night Night coming out, obviously. So that's kind of, all of that has really been taking up a lot of space in my career. I'm really particularly excited about a romantic comedy we just acquired that we are starting pre-production on very soon, a feature.
Awesome. Where can people follow you if they want to keep track of all the stuff you're working on?
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, it's all just Niki Koss, my name.
Folks, if you want more information on Night Night, the movie, go on the internet, find it at nightnightmovie.com. Thanks again, Niki.
Thank you, Richard.